Hello and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name's Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And this is the show where we demystify technology. We explain trends in gadgets and all kinds of stuff like that. And today on the show, we're going to show you how to spend more of your hard-earned money on things that, perhaps are overpriced.
Yes, like this?
Well, so the iPad, absolutely. But I mean, where we got to, actually, we're thinking, look, we've done the iPad. We've talked about whether it's, meets the hype or not. Mm-hmm. And of course, the next step with pretty much every single gadget that people buy that they love is they start to invest about as much money in the device as they do in the accessories that go with the device.
And it is, in the Apple world, very accessorizable, definitely.
So really, today we're going to talk to you about iPad accessories. You get this device, you love it, and then you realize, well, wait a second, I spent all this money, but I think I have to buy a few things really to make it work properly.
Yeah, or maybe not to work properly, but to work the way that you were thinking of working with it in the first place.
In the first place. That's probably reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Because I have to say that I probably spent $300 or $400 on accessories since I spent the initial $600 or $700 on the device itself. So now my iPad have is now up to $1,000. I think yours probably at $1,500 at this point. No?
Yeah, I don't think that much, but at the same point, it's just like the whole argument that, a netbook, not that much less expensive. Oh, that sort of goes out the window once you start spending money on the accessories. So.
Well, it's true of anything. I guess your computer's the same way, right? As you could buy a piece of technology and then you got to add stuff to it. So
it is always the case.
There you go. All right, so today we're going to cover iPad accessories and explain to you the world that goes around your iPads, wrapped in it, protects it, keyboards, cases, stuff like that. So let's take a break. When we come back,
iPad accessories.
Well, before we get started with iPad accessories, I just want to remind you of an exciting contest just come up. Our friends at VeriSign, they're that big trust company in California responsible for registering .coms and .nets, .tv, places, domains like that. These guys are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the .coms.
25 years?
Can you imagine it's been 25 years already?
That's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. It's more than half.
I was 3.
And so what they want you to do is actually going to give you an opportunity to win, I think, one of 10 iPads, cash prizes of up to $10,000. And all you got to do is head on over to their site, howdoyou.com, and tell your .com story. And how has the .com world changed your life? In my case, I registered cyberwalker.net years ago, and I bought the .com domain. And as soon as I bought the .com domain, that site really started to take off. Everybody thinks about, if you're going to go to a website, they naturally type that .com extension on it.
Yeah, right? By default, it could be a .org or a .net, but .com is so ingrained.
It's ingrained in our heads, right? So really, when I started to develop out Cyberwalker as a website, and I finally got the .com, which I bought from a guy for, I think it was $500 bucks, but back in sort of the early 2000s, the site started to take off. We started to make some money, and in fact, over a period of time, after I left the television world for a little while, it was my primary source of income, and I was making some really good money, right? So really, the web world, .com to me, I think of .com and I think about money. Think about, and really it is a way of making money. So that was how .com really changed my life. So I'm sure it's changed your life. Perhaps you met your husband or your wife on a website that had a .com, one of those dating websites. Perhaps you found a picture of your pet, perhaps at a humane society or something like that at a .com. So how has the .com changed your life? So head on over to howdoyou.com. And enter your story, and you could win an iPad or some cash.
Yeah, howdoyou.com.
And
it's all about you.
It's all about you.
Yes.
And I think we'll probably talk about how it changed your life in an upcoming episode.
Maybe.
Sounds good. All right, let's get on with the show. So let's talk about iPad accessories.
Yes.
So I bought my iPad not too long ago. It showed up like this. So nice, pretty screen. Flip it right around. It's a nice aluminum, but it really felt like it was exposed.
Yeah, so you see actually in the iPad commercials, you see people sitting there on the back of motorcycles. No way that's ever going to happen. No. They're not going to be sitting there waiting for this to hit the concrete. So.
Right. So I guess the first thing, in fact, was the first thing I thought it was buy a case.
Yeah, so nice and shiny. Nice and shiny, not going to stay that way, so let's get ourselves a case here. So first thing I want to show you
Well, that's nice.
is it's from our friends at Griffin Technology.
Yeah.
And it's about $50. They have a sleeve version of this, but they also have this one in a folio. So now we've got something that looks like it could be a notebook. It's called the Elan Passport.
Nice.
And has a little tab here.
Yeah.
You can see, flip it open. And it now has little sections here for business cards or your credit cards, if that's the way you want to go.
Yeah.
Keeps it nice and safe.
Uh-huh.
And nice and leatherish on both
Real,
sides.
real cow on that?
I'm not 100% sure.
Simulated cow.
Could be real cow or simulated cow. It probably simulated.
It smells cowy.
Well, there you go. But the nice thing about this is that you can actually now you can afford to do that and not worry that your iPad is about to bite the dust because of that.
Right.
Now you went for.
I went for the default. Yeah. So Apple obviously offers their own case. So this is the one I bought, and this runs about $30, $35, $40 on the Apple website. Mm-hmm. You know, again, it is a opening. You can open it like that. It has. What's cool about this is to keep it in. It has a little flappy thing here, so you slide it in. And then you fold this flap over to keep it in, like that. So that's kind of handy because it will stay where it's supposed to, so it's not going to fall out of the case.
That feels like vinyl or something.
It is, I think it's naga hide.
How many nagas did they have to kill to get that?
I don't know, but it's an endangered species, clearly. But the other thing I like about this is it has a little flap on the back here, if you can see that, right there.
Yeah.
And if I fold this thing in, then it becomes a little stand. Now, let's see if we can get there. Like
Unfortunately, the stand isn't good enough to keep it from reflecting our lights back at you.
No, that's right. And you can. I'll sit it. What I like to do is watch goofy History Channel documentaries when I go to bed, and I put headphones on, and so I'll prop this up on bed and watch it that way. You can do this. This is handy for the on an airplane too. On the seat back, the tray.
Right, and if you want, you can also do it down like that, and it gives it
work like a keyboard
type ability.
Yeah, exactly. So not a bad buy. I think it's a bit of a price. I think on that it cost them $3 to make, and they charged me $35. So
yeah, it's not quite as slick as this, but then again, this one right here, you can't prop up. I guess you could prop it like this, but
you could. Yeah. So lots of options there. I've seen rubber versions of it. I've seen all kind of. I think everybody and their brother is making these cases these days, and from $10 to I think the designer ones are probably $100.
Yeah, I know. I've seen our friends at iSkin have ones that wrap around the back that are just essentially a little rubberized grip.
Yeah.
And I know Belkin has one, which I think we'll take a look at a little bit later on in the show.
Good. My brother actually, when he got his iPad, he handed it to his 2-year-old son, and instantaneously it became Oliver's, device. And so he had to get this rubber wrapper on it, almost like an iPhone rubber case. And the kid, tosses it around, and actually works quite nicely. So, so there's lots of options there. All right, good. Now, of course, this comes with a standard connector.
10 watt, yes.
10 watt.
10 watts.
10 watt. But of course, there's all kinds of power options. Now, you've been investigating that.
Okay, yeah, so there's a couple things. First of all, the 10 watt connector that comes with it, it looks like it could be a standard connector that you'd use with your iPhone, for example. It's just essentially the cable. Well, I've got one of them over here. It comes with the standardized cable right here, and it plugs into a little adapter at the end. Right. So now if you use the one for your iPhone, it won't actually power it properly because that's only 5 watts.
Not enough juice.
Doesn't give it enough juice.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you get one that has the 10 watt capability. It delivers enough power. Now you can get one from Apple. It has its own version of that. So say you want one for home and then one for the office. So you don't want to necessarily be carting the power adapter with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at a couple, or one option here that I've got. Yeah, so again, our friends at Griffin, they've got like a ton of accessories for the iPad. This right here is part of something called the Power Duo. And this right here is the wall adapter for it, and it has the USB plug on the bottom here. So you just plug this into this end.
To there, yeah.
And they also have in here, you can see it on here, it's got the for 12-volt adapter for your car, and it's got the USB plug on the end. And
the cigarette lighter
in the back
adapter.
there.
Yeah.
Sort of buried in the case right now.
Yeah.
So that one right there is, that one's about $40 for both of these things. And again, it gives you power in the car and at your office with this.
I noticed actually Belkin has something similar as well. The Belkin one I bought out of one of those vending machines, the Best Buy vending machines at the San Francisco airport recently, $39. So.
Oh, by the way, it does come with this as well. So if you don't have an extra cable, you can have this. So there's that. And the other thing that you probably want to think of is a powered dock. So here's one thing. If you don't want to just leave it sitting on the surface of your desk when you're charging it up, you can plug it in to one of these docks from Apple. This is the basic dock, $29. Again, the standard price of their accessories.
So you gotta I wonder if I can pull my.
No, I got it.
You got it.
So then you just put that in there.
Yes.
And away you go. It starts powering it up.
Right.
And it also functions as a bit of a stand there too.
Yeah, it's very good.
So $39, and there you go. Now they have a keyboard dock for this as well, which I tried and didn't like so much.
Because
it's not really portable. And this is one of the reasons you may want a keyboard dock, is because you're thinking of going out to Starbucks and writing something a little bit on here. Now you've got the type screen on there, but it's not really great for long form documents.
Yeah.
So you might want to get something like the keyboard dock, but now imagine it's like this with a keyboard on the side. Now that's not necessarily going to fit into your bag very elegantly, because it's like deep in this way and in this way.
You just develop like a snap-on kit, something that connects directly to it and snaps onto the back or something.
Yeah. Well, there's another way you can go with this. So what I chose to do instead is I chose to go for Apple's own Bluetooth keyboard. So we have this right here. It's just the regular keyboard that you'd see on the new iMacs.
Yeah.
It's about $69.
Yeah.
Connects via Bluetooth to this and then functions perfectly well with this. You can type into the Pages application. You can do it into your notes, any other places that you'd want to type anything in that you don't want to necessarily go into the screen.
Right.
And as you can see, it's nice and thin, so it actually snugs up right next to this. Well, you probably want to put your case on, but it doesn't take up that much space in your backpack.
Yeah.
So
clever.
So there you go.
And how's it powered? Is it battery powered?
It's got AA batteries inside.
AA batteries, yeah.
Now, the one disadvantage it has against the keyboard dock is designed specifically for the iPad, so it has a few buttons on it that actually function with the iPad. So it's got the button down here, the menu button. It has a button on the keyboard that allows you to trigger that, right?
So you don't have to poke at it. Well, yeah, I get it.
So you don't have to poke at it. This one is more general. It's designed for use with any Bluetooth-enabled device.
Sure.
So it doesn't have those iPad-specific keys, but it does allow you to, if you're in a word processing document like Pages, you can use like Command-C, Command-V, and all that to copy and paste. So it does feature a little bit of that connectivity.
Okay, good.
So
and that's your preferred solution, do you think?
This is the one that I've been using. I find it a lot more tidy overall.
Yes. Okay, good. Great.
So.
All right. And now you I know you called me when I was in the States recently, and you're like, give me a camera kit. And tell me about that.
Okay. So now I'm thinking as well, I've got the keyboard with this. I can use it as a writing machine, but I also use my computer as a photograph machine. So I pull all my photos off of the camera and review them at the end of the day, upload them to Flickr and all that. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm still going to need to take my my notebook with me. Well, not so much, because they've got the iPad camera connection kit here. What it is essentially is two little dongles inside the kit here. One of them is a USB right here. So connects to the dock at the bottom.
Yeah, it plugs in there.
Let's demonstrate it. So plugs into the dock at the bottom, as long as you get it the right way. And now the USB thing here will connect to your camera's USB cable. So you can import directly from that.
Yeah.
If you'd prefer to just plug in straight to Secure Digital, which a lot of cameras have, there's the other one that has a Secure Digital card here.
SD card.
SD card.
Yeah. So of course, does that actually also function as an expandable storage device?
Well, only if the app supports that.
And are there other apps that come with these guys, or do you have to? Is there the third-party apps that you use, or?
No, these function perfectly well
natively. Yeah.
Natively.
Okay.
The one nice thing about this, though, is if you use the USB one, people have found that there's a few other things that work with this that weren't supposed to.
I hear a hack coming.
There's a hack coming. So if you jailbreak this thing, you can actually use this.
So explain what jailbreaking is.
Jailbreaking is where you connect this to your computer and put firmware on here, or a new version of the operating system that isn't exactly the one that Apple had.
Slightly modified.
Tweaks, slightly modified. So it'll function like the iPad, but it'll have some stuff in the back end that allows you to do.
And technically illegal. Or technically it breaks the warranty.
It breaks
I'm
your
not sure if
warranty.
it's illegally, it just breaks the warranty.
Yeah, they look the other way on that from a legal perspective. But yeah, if you take it back to the store and say it doesn't work, they'll say, well, too bad.
Yeah, too bad for you. No
So,
support.
No support.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I haven't tried it yet, but the one thing that's supposed to work with this is there's a company called Blue. They make microphones on USB, and their Yeti microphone is supposed to work via this, so it'll override the audio inside here, the microphone.
Oh,
so
neat.
You can actually start recording high-quality podcasts.
Oh, that's great. That's cool.
So-
Like a mobile audio production studio.
Right. And again, that kit is about $29
Yeah.
if you can find it. It's apparently been selling out like crazy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Almost impossible to get. You can get your hands on it. So. Okay, good. Any other accessories you need to be aware of? I guess there's, it's an audio device, so I mean, do you have a favorite set of iPad specialty headphones, or do you use general headphones?
I'll show you those after the break, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's two other things I want to show. First of all, I have a stand here that I
neat.
forgot to mention when we were talking about.
It's like an easel.
Yeah, it's kind of like an easel. And this one right here it's called the A-frame by Griffin. Let's just get some of this other stuff out of the way. So it's got two modes here. Now this one right here is designed to set up in portrait mode, obviously, but it's got the little bumpers here so that you can actually set it up in landscape mode as well, just as comfortably.
Nice.
But it also folds down like so that like yours does in both directions. This one you can type like that, or again in landscape mode, and it still gives you a bit of a tilt so that your fingers can get at the screen comfortably. And so that's about $40.
Cool.
Actually about $50. Sorry.
All right.
And it's nice and solid here too, so it's not going to break
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a plastic.
What's it made out of?
It's made out of
Anodized aluminum or something like that.
out of metal.
Out of metal. Cool.
And one last thing to
one thing?
put it all into, because now we've got a whole pile of stuff. I've got this little bag from my friends at Tom Bin. They make these in the States. They make them in Seattle, so they're waterproof generally as well, water resistant at the very least, and they're really well put together. I've been using a Tom Bin bag for my notebook for years now, and it's still holding together. Usually I would blow through a bag in about a year with all of the stuff I was packing in and out of it. These ones last. So this one's called the Ristretto, and it has several pockets in here. One right here that seals up. You can put your iPad or netbook in here, like so. Pop your keyboard into this package here, pack this into here, plug all the rest of this into this other packet up here. Well, we won't just pack the whole thing away. That'll be kind of boring, but about $110. Seals up like this, and then just sling it.
And you're the coolest bike courier ever.
I guess so.
There you go. Good.
No room for packages in the Ristretto. It's a little bit small in the version for the iPad and netbooks, but it does make a nice carrying case for all of the accessories that you have with it. It also has a nice flap on the back, so if you need travel documents to go as well. So
Space for snacks as well, perhaps.
Or snacks.
We like
a
snacks.
chocolate bar.
All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, Sean's going to talk a little bit about earwear for your iPad. And of course, we have our usual featured Butterscotch show, as well as picture time. That's after this. So Andrew McCrispin has been digging around for more accessories for the iPad, and I know recently he covered off a very cool new case on Gadget TV from, I think, Belkin it was. So
It was from Belkin.
It was. So let's take a look at that clip. When we come back, Sean's going to talk to you a bit more about earwear for your iPad.
Welcome on deck. I'm Matt Harris.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman.
Welcome to the A-List.
Hi, welcome to Miss Download.
You can see that the elastic closure is actually nestled into this little channel here. I thought that was kind of a nice touch. So if we pull that elastic strap out, wrap it around the outside here, you can see that our iPad is kind of nestled in here and nice and well protected when it's closed. Now the screen is obviously exposed when it's open, otherwise you wouldn't be able to use it. So you can see you have full access to your iPad. You can use it just as you normally would. There is now a lip on the edge, so if you're a big fan of the edge-to-edge glass feeling of the iPad, you might want to look elsewhere for a case.
So you can see that entire clip at butterscotch.com. Check out Gadget TV. That's with Andrew McCrispin.
Yeah, but wait until after this.
Yeah, that's right. Don't go away yet. We have more to say. And speaking of which, you have some ear products, audio products for the iPad. Perhaps, are they custom for the iPad or no?
No.
Okay.
They are not. But now the one thing, when you get an iPod in the past, you would get a set of earbuds with them. Now, not necessarily the best earbuds in the world. In fact, I kind of hated them. They were like really uncomfortable and didn't sound all that great. So one of the first things I'd always do with the iPod was upgrade the earbuds. Now the iPad, they don't even give you any in this case.
Right.
So they've got a reasonably good speaker in the bottom.
But it functions as an iPod. It has the iPod app in
Yeah.
it, you know. So
Yeah,
it is a reasonable. It's an audio playback device. Well, and of course video as well.
Yeah.
So did you get yourself like stereophonic surround sound?
No, I just got a really good set of headphones. Now, what you can get one of the ones with the remote control on it, but I don't feel that's really necessary because you're not going to be sticking your iPad away in a pocket typically and using it as an iPod like for your music.
This is your remote control, right?
Yeah,
here.
your remote control is your finger on the screen. So I just opted for a good set of headphones.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I like is in-ear headphones because they sound a lot higher end to me. There's not much bleed out into the real world.
Yeah.
So the ones that I have here are these nice little headphones. Now,
They're pretty.
The downside of these is often that they're a bit more pricey.
Yes.
Now this is from our friends at Monster.
Monster, yeah.
Monster Cable, who make really expensive cables that shouldn't be that expensive, but they make headphones that are probably about the right price. And these are a Miles Davis tribute. You notice right here, we've got a little logo of Miles. Well, it's the same as the one on the case here. So,
Yeah.
you know, the estate of Miles Davis wanted to make really good high-end headphones that are suitable for listening to jazz, which a lot of headphones aren't.
Right.
And these ones are in-ear. They have different tips on here, so you can use different silicone tips, just like plain round ones or the flanged ones like we have here.
Yeah.
And they're about $399, which will probably make you go,
Yes.
but,
Ouch.
but they are about the same quality as a lot of the Shure headphones that are that same studio reference level. So
Oh, very good.
I like them quite a bit, but they're not for everybody. Oh, and they come with a nice little
Little
cleaning
wiper
kit.
thing
Yeah.
to clean away the earwax.
Well, that not for the earwax, but to clean the nice gold, the gold bezel. around
Polish the
outside.
bling, as it
yeah,
were.
polish the bling.
Okay, good. All right, well, that's fantastic. I think now is time for picture time.
It is time for picture time.
Right.
So first up,
What do we got today?
we have a setup here. A little bit dark on our screen here, but you'll see it a little bit clearer. This is from our friend Rob, who's in Bladensburg in Maryland, and he's showing off lab rats running on his TV setup.
Nice. Very good.
So thank you for sending that along, Rob. And also, we have one from our friend Haroon, who's in Lahore, Pakistan. Again, a little setup here. And this is something in this one that you don't normally see next to the computer, and that's a little bowl of fruit. But, you know, you might get hungry while you're
it's not
watching
an apple.
lab rats. It's not an Apple computer, but yeah, definitely apples beside there. So,
Tasty.
so eat fruit is more healthy for you than Doritos. There you go.
There you go. You can send your pictures to us at
Accessorize your iPad with the blingiest thing in the whole world, but not necessarily an apple, because that would get apple juice all over your iPad at librats.tv.
It's a lot. There's a lot to type there. So more simply, you could also use
Feedback at librats.tv.
much easier.
But that's not as fun. It's never as fun.
No, it's
You're
not.
no fun.
I am no fun sometimes. That's very true. That's very true. Okay, don't forget to send in your .com story at howdoyou.com to win up to $10,000 and potentially an iPad if you don't already have one.
Like this one right here.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks for tuning in this week. And it would be foolish for us to be accessorizing out here if you weren't out there with your iPad in Lab Rats land. My name's Andy Walker,
I'm Sean Carruthers.
and we'll see you next time.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
It's a bit messy up here when we do these. It's a bit messy up here.
Yeah, no kidding.